And there was military actions that have definitely followed. But there was a terrorist attack in India that was in the region of Kashmir. Now, the triggering event happened on April 22nd, where a terrorist attack happened in, I believe it's pronounced Pahalgam, something like that, and Jammu and Kashmir, something like that. But also one in a Nepali, killed 26 civilians, including a Nepali citizen. And interesting enough, I actually talked to a guy from India today about it. And, he was talking about how these attacks, how they even killed some tourists. And so India, now he was Hindu, and he did talk about the culture that is instilled in Pakistan, that it's a culture that is about, destroying people that don't believe in their ideology. And so, you have a Muslim country, Pakistan, and you have mostly a Hindu country, mostly.
Honey, bring me the glue.
In India. Thank you. And so, it's just.
I have no honey.
Thank you for that. He's single,
Apologies.
ladies. Okay. And he's taking applications. Submit them at faiththenation at gmail.com.
You don't got a girlfriend, I'm married.
Yes, Pastor David. Oh, Pastor David's here. But no, listen. Obviously, it's not a fun time. They are probably going to, one or the other is probably going to declare war. They're already bombing each other. They're practically at war, and they are neighboring countries. So it is it's a bad situation. We should definitely pray for them.
Let's go into the clip actually, because it's actually going to explain everything. Yes, Jonathan, you still there?
Yeah. Did you say go into the content or the clip, or what did you say?
The clip. Let's roll the clip that explains what's going on in Pakistan.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
No, it's a shame. We just heard about it just as we were walking in the doors of the Oval. Just heard about it. I guess people knew something was going to happen based on a little bit of the past. They've been fighting for a long time. They've been fighting for many, many decades and centuries, actually, if you really think about it. No, I just hope it ends very quickly.
Thank you very much.
India just bombed Pakistan.
Yeah.
India literally just attacked Pakistan, and this is not good. This attack was a reaction to what happened on 22nd when 5 militants from Pakistan terrorist group come in and killed 26 only men. They allowed their wives to live. They killed 26 men, letting the women know, go show Modi what we did. They had the folks who said, what religion are you?
Wow.
I'm Hindu. Boom, kill them. What religion are you? I'm Muslim. Oh, really? Yeah. Why don't you tell me the Islamic kalima? They don't have it. Boom, kill them. Now, why does this matter? Because when you think about the top countries in the world with the most nuclear arsenal, you know where Pakistan and India are? Neck and neck. 1/6 place, which is India with 172. The other is 170. And by the way, do you know how a Pakistani official just responded to Al Jazeera named Faisal Kundi? You know what he said about nuclear weapons? Listen to this. Our nuclear bombs are not meant to be displayed in museums. We will use them if attacked by India. All is fair in love.
Come on, this is insane.
In war. He said this on April.
Yeah, this is
on
nuts,
April when?
Guys.
April when?
On April
30th. Today's the attack by India. This
April 30th.
And the reason why this has happened, a lot of people are talking about going back to, hey, when you think.
Okay, so yeah, thank you, Patrick David, for that.
Let's finish that guy up though when we're done with our commentary though, because that is insane. And boy, did that instill some. I'll be honest with you, my Islam. That I am not a fan of Islam in the last 48 hours, man. Just makes me reflect on how much I actually am. Why am I going to be against Israel? Okay, it's always these people. They start wars everywhere, and I don't even care to say that it's only a fringe sect of the group. It's right there inside the Quran. They're murderers. They're killers. They're antichrist. They are one of the biggest problems on the earth, not Israel.
The unholy Quran.
Yeah, yeah. It's that is, man. That is something. Quite a statement to say. Hey, they're not meant for the museum. We're gonna use them. But I don't know. I do see
That is
yeah.
a loud one. My bad.
I do see the insanity of that statement, but I also wonder if that's somewhat of a bluff, because if you use nuclear weapons and your opponent uses nuclear and just nuclear weapons start getting used, no more. If you start to use weapons like that, you got no more country. So
Yeah.
when it comes to nuclear, it's like you have to say that you'll use them, because if you don't, then that's dumb. But
We're going to
if you
our
actually,
museums are not meant to be used, or are not meant to sit in a museum. They're meant to be used. That's one of the most disgusting Islamic statements I could ever see in my life. And then they come
for
over
sure,
and they're like, "What religion are you?" "Oh, okay. I'm Buddhist."
for
Bam,
sure,
you're dead. "I'm Christian." Bam, you're dead. "Oh,
it's evil.
I'm Islam." And then they make you recite some demonic Islamic prayer. And if you can't, bam, you're
Hmm.
dead in the head. That's who those people are, right? Every single one
Yeah,
of them.
yeah. And I think that, yeah, if you follow the Quran, you're gonna have to fight the Jews and fight the Christians, and subjugate them, make them pay the jizya. But I do think that
I'll give you some
we'll have to
jizya.
see. We'll
Ah,
have
the
to
jizya
see.
right in the mouth.
We'll have to see if they actually are willing to use nuclear. I don't think any country really would. Hold
I
your.
hope not.
I can
Pray
see
not.
it's coming out, but I'll get right with you. But yeah, I think of, man, Kim Jong Un, who is as nuts as they come, and he still hasn't used his nuclear. And if he's hasn't used his nuclear, I think there's most people that have nuclear, we're holding off for a reason, because your whole everything will get blown up. Deacon Alex, what you got?
Man, I hope it does. I don't want to see if nuclear bombs get used. We definitely don't want that. 170. I
You mean
mean,
you want to keep your
and
skin?
look, yeah, like just all it takes is one, and the rest of them they're firing. All of them firing, and you're gonna have, what is that? 340 nuclear weapons going off, nuclear bombs going off. That part of the world is destroyed, like destroyed,
Hmm.
and who knows what kind of effect that can have on the climate in the region and really around the world. I mean, we really don't know. All we know,
Come on.
from a few tests and testing here and there, and obviously the unfortunate event that happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We don't want to experience those things again, and so could this be? Man, that's why I say we need to pray that it doesn't. We don't want that to happen, and I would even say that that's another reason why we don't want Iran to have them. And I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying we
Yeah,
got to go to that,
sure,
but that's another reason why we don't want Iran to have them, and we can't allow
brother.
them to have them.
Brother Matthew, um, I know you just gave your thoughts on Islam, but how about this leader, making that statement, saying that he wants to do this? Um, do you think that it'll come to that they'll actually try to use those weapons, or is he kind of just bravadoing?
God, if I know, I think that all I know is the internal thought life of my own head. And since I saw those comments, I have really been battling to give Islamicists any type of benefit of doubt. I think history is an explanation for why we haven't. And since seeing that pig open his mouth in such capacity, and seeing how they sent their terrorists into India in order to murder and lethalize people, all in the name of their fake demonic god Allah, I believe that I need to watch over my own mouth, watch over my own salvation, and let nothing impure leave my mouth, because I know many people are caught inside this cult of Islam. So would these animals do this? Absolutely, they would, and it makes me really just it sobers me up in regarding this position you always hear me having about Israel. I'm not a big fan of Israel. I'm not a fan of the whole nation. I'm a fan of Jewish people. But when I have to pick between my brother, by extension, through Jacob, right, versus these people that are just my absolute and total complete enemy in every way, shape, and form. I mean, I think it might be a good thing that Israel exists. And then I was just brushing up on the history, and I think PPD really did a good job with this clip. We should go back to it whenever we feel like it. But yeah, I'm just trying not to be racist and hateful towards Muslims, because this is really instilling my internal desire to call a Muslim what they are: antichrist, violent, nasty.
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go to the rest of that clip. Let's hit it.
But is this like a World War III possibility? Because we can't have those two guys go at it. Or is this more like Cold War, what happened where Russia was communism and they were behind all the Korean War, Vietnam War, all the, even some of the war that was happening with the Iran-Contra, they're behind of it? Or is this more like, in this situation, China's behind everything because they're instigating Pakistan? Is U.S. all of a sudden going to get involved with this? Russia's kind of involved because they got a very good relationship with India. 60% of the military equipment that India uses, they bought from Russia, and 40% of the oil that Russia sells, India is the customer. So there's a very interesting dynamic going on here.
I'll be right
We're
back,
gonna talk
gentlemen.
about that today.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I did not know that there was a Russia connection. Did you know that, Brother Matt?
No, I didn't. I was actually
No.
I was watching the Alex Jones show, and he played this clip, and I was like, real quick, I gotta get this guy on there, because I thought that was a good explanation for what was happening. So yeah, not too up on it.
40%.
I just know that this has really made me up my prayer life, and on top of that, also there's a part of me that, Jonathan, that's been waiting for like this great equalizer. Where part of me really wants the end of the world to come. Whether it's financial collapse, whether it's just, I don't want to see death, chaos, and destruction, right? But I want what's going to force Matt Lepasic to just really give up his life, give up seeking desires of, his own personal desires. What's going to get him back on the streets 24/7? What's going to get him preaching? What's going to get him opening his house to the poor? What's going to get him out of selfish land? And there's a small part of me, as much as I don't want to see death, chaos, and destruction, I don't want to see my family members who haven't came to the Lord come. There's a part of me that's mixed on the coming of Jesus Christ. Prematurely, or people haven't been sold. That's also just like, bring it on. I'm not afraid of it. But it's a lot different when it's on the other side of the world than when it's in your backyard. When this is in Los Angeles, or something happens over here in Chicago. And I think talk is cheap, right? So I think it's very scary. And this is what we've always been looking at, and the fact that whether it's going to be in the hands of Islamists, or whether it's going to be in the hand of jihadists, or the New World Order satanic cabal, they're looking in order to keep people away from Christ as much as possible. And the way that they do that is by distracting them through fear, through economic chaos, economic destruction. Here we are on the verge of a golden age in the United States of America, and it seems as if they're going to keep pulling on the heartstrings of the people and the warmongering strings in order to try to get themselves back into full view of the New World Order. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah. No, I agree. Control, fear, and yeah, you definitely see this coming. This kind of radical Islamic these attacks, these things that are happening, and I do wonder, brother Matt, if like what the breaking point will be like in Europe, or because in America, excuse me, it already seems like there's some awakening happening as to what this religion really teaches. In Europe, it seems like even though things are kind of not going great over there in that respect, there's still the elite society. Either they like it or they still don't get it. So yeah, we'll definitely have to see how that plays out. But as far as, I kind of, to switch topics just a little bit back to India, I do wonder, what if there's any particular connection with India and Russia, given the fact that 40% of the oil they're purchasing is from Russia. Is it just purely transactional, or is there something else there?